was yesterday. Fall, just before my freshman year. We arrived at the college. I was waving goodbye to my parents. I had my last box, and I was walking up the stairs. 1 step, 2 step, pause, look back. Oh no. What do I do now? My entire support system just drove down the driveway and made a left turn on Barrington. How do I move on? It's not a story unlike most college students. Many go through that same exact conversation. And not just college students. When you leave home for the first time, when you have a big life transition, you have these moments. Today, I'm going to share with you 3 ideas. 1, your identity is not something you find. It's something you build. 2, your mindset is a critical part of who you become. And 3, direction over perfection. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, as I said, I am the identity doctor. What I spend time in is helping folks work through their identity. So let's talk about point number 1. Identity is not something you find. When I was in my mid-20s, a friend of mine talked about a guy that she was dating, and they'd been together for a while, and then one day they weren't together. And I said, what happened to him? She's like, he's in Texas, finding himself. You have to go all the way to Texas to find yourself? Okay, weird. But a lot of people think that. When they're confused, they talk about finding themselves. The reality is that it's not about finding yourself. It's building yourself. And it's done through your experiences. Everything you do builds another piece of your identity. Think of it like a quilt. You take a piece from here and a piece from there, and you stitch them together, and eventually you have this beautiful piece of artwork. That's your identity. Every experience, every person, every activity, all combine into this beautiful quilt. So your identity isn't found. It's built, and you have control. Secondly, mindset matters. How you think about something is critical to your success. If you believe you can't do something, I have news for you. You can't. If you believe you can do something, you probably can. And it's all about your mindset. Carol Dweck, a researcher in educational psychology, talks about the growth versus fixed mindset. Fixed mindset is, I am X, that's all there is to it. Growth says I can grow. Think about it this way. I can't do math. There's a lot of people in that camp. Lots and lots of people. But that's a fixed mindset. How do we shift that to a growth mindset? I can't do that yet. It's amazing. It's one word, but it makes all the difference in the world. Yet gives you the possibility to be able to grow through it. And that's important to how we move and grow our identity. I might not be there now, but there's a path to get there if it's what I want. So mindset matters. And third, direction, not perfection. If I do just this thing, if I wait for it to be just perfect, then I can do it. And then we spend all of our time waiting and waiting for just the right conditions. If this thing happens and this thing happens, then I can do it. And we look back, and 30 years have gone by, and we've done nothing. It doesn't matter whether the conditions are perfect, so long as you take a step. Then reevaluate. Figure out what has to happen next. So the conditions weren't perfect, but you took a step. You evaluate, and then guess what? you take another step. And you do that enough times, and eventually you're on the other side of the room. Or you could sit on that side, waiting for the perfect path to get there. 3 thoughts. Your identity is not found, it's built. Mindset matters, and direction, not perfection. So there I was, at the staircase, my foot frozen, not knowing what was going to happen next. I took a breath, and I took a step. I went up the stairs. And then another step, and another step, and eventually I was in my dorm room. And 4.5 years later, I had my degree. And then I took some more steps, and some more after that. And you know what? Where I am today is not the person I thought I was going to be as an 18-year-old walking into my undergraduate. But I've had a lot of wonderful journeys. I've learned a lot of great things. And as the identity doctor, my hope is to help you figure out where you need to be and what your next steps are. Because the answer is within you. You know the answer.